When we came to that first TNNA show, we found it a really warm, sure there's competition, but people were friendly and helpful and they're so creative. Found it a great home really to start our business. So we went to another show, and by that time we were starting to learn what people want to see is what's new. So by the time a full year rolled around, we came back with some of the silk line products that we talked about, some brand new weavings that we'd done, and we came back with prototype knitting needles. One of the people I had worked with had a fascinating story in Vietnam, but before the Vietnam War and then after Vietnam War. And if you know a little bit and are of a certain age, the truth is everybody has a story before and after that war, which is really of dramatic change. So somebody who had worked for me when we lived there, said, you know, I think this knitting needle thing, I think my father can do that. So I worked closely with them for 10 years now, but at that time, over the course of a year, getting quality right, getting the points right, getting it to be the finest wooden knitting needle available on the market, which it still is. And then we brought it to market. We flew here, we got out of the plane, we put them in packages, and we took them to TNNA, and at that time it was a growing market, we had growing customer base, and so it really took off, and we were mobbed, and that really was a watershed moment for us. More importantly, it's for producers who our circular needles, when we made those, we called them the Destiny Circular Needles, and you can find that story on their website in a kind of heart-moving story as they were telling their story after the Vietnam War and how they'd gone from having nothing to doing something and now making a little bit of money, how it was now their destiny they saw to make the knitting needles for Lantern Moon. So that was a huge step for us. We didn't have the intention to start out making knitting products, but it developed that way. So by the time we developed products that are specific for knitting, the baskets, the lined baskets, silk needle cases, and that sort of thing, and the knitting needles, and then the circular knitting needles, and then started coming to TNNA, what happened naturally was that there's another market here. People that do cross-stitch, needlepoint, and embroidery also have a lot of products they can get at Lantern Moon. We do small cases and specific cases so that for their products, a thing called the Bug's Eye case, which we call the stash case, little things, all again in the same techniques that we've always used, working with small groups that produce things from silk or baskets and combining them into a marketable product. One of the other things we've done, and it's really hard to make it something that works well on a commercial level, is a program we have called Heritage Textiles. So we work a lot of times going very far, off the beaten path, working with people who weave beads into their products and making something that works with them. We're now something made by a tribe in northern Thailand called the Lisu tribe, which does some really intricate fabric work. So we've incorporated that into a bag that's been a traditionally popular bag for us.